What's up, y'all? Today we're going to talk about music and audio mixing in Final Cut. Hey, my name's Danny Bull. I'm a cameraman for the BBC. Over the last 10 years, I filmed in the Amazon and the Himalayas, from the Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh to the protests in Hong Kong. I hope to share here some of the tips and tricks I've learned over the years. Alright, so I decided to record that new intro into the track, and it's just a simple guitar with some higher note guitar on top. So I recorded that, and then let's dive into Final Cut and we'll take a look how we're going to fine tune that with all the audio together. Okay, so since we're working with sound in Final Cut Pro today, I'm going to drag this layer up, and since we're gonna just focus on the audio, we can get rid of the visual section or make it smaller for now. So I've dragged that up, and now we can focus on the waveform. If you're already in a crunch down mode, you won't be able to see the waveform, but to be able to see the waveform, I'm gonna do Control Option and up, and I'm gonna hit it a few times, and every time I hit up or down, the waveform will get bigger or smaller, just visually for me to see. The other way you can do that is you can click here, and now you can make that waveform bigger or smaller. This is to fine tune how we're going to look at our audio. Okay, you'll see a lot of my audio has these faders on the end. Final Cut comes with this, but I use them all the time, pretty much for every single shot. So normally when you drop a clip in, it comes in like that, and I'm just going to fade that in, okay? So let's listen to just the song alone. Okay, so the way I soloed that is I did Option S. Option S will solo whatever track you have selected. And sometimes I do this just to make sure, am I hearing something right? Am I hearing something else in the background? And I want to be sure. Okay, so I've downloaded these transition effects. There's like a lot of swooshes and sweeps that sound really nice over especially these drone shots. And I've added them in here for a more cinematic effect. So if you hear, and I can just solo those swooshes. Okay, and I have those there going on through the piece. Okay, they're very subtle. If you see everywhere in Final Cut, there's a line here where I can control how loud or soft it is. I'm going to keep that at about -15. Okay, so now we're going to focus on making our audio levels on the speaking part clear throughout and make sure it's not peaking. So anywhere on this line, it's telling me it's 7 decibels. If I hit Option and left click on the mouse, I create a new keyframe. So I always like to make 4, 2 inner and 2 outer keyframes for whatever I'm going to manipulate on the audio. And that way I can just drag down here and smooth out the rest on either side. Okay, and I'll do that for areas that are quiet and for areas that are loud. So this area is quiet, so I can bring this area up a little bit, just so I'm making the audio pretty consistent around the board. And even here, I could raise this, but I'm not sure what happens after. You see, there's a lot of clipping here. So instead, I will undo that, and I will just add one here, which will keep me at 7 dB across. Over the last 10 years, I filmed in the Amazon and the Himalayas from the Rohingya crisis. And this is a case where I want to have a larger waveform. So I just click here, and I'm going to make it bigger so I can get a more accurate manipulation. And I just move across the file until I have the consistent sound that I like. tricks I've learned over the years. And then to bring this all down so you can see it all together, it's Control Option down arrow. Hey, my name is Danny Bull. I'm a cameraman for the BBC. Over the last 10 years, I filmed in the Amazon and the Himalayas, from the Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh to the protests in Hong Kong. I hope to share here some of the tips and tricks I've learned over the years. Okay, now I've also added the ambient sound from these scenes you'll see above. These drones, the camera drone does not have any sound on top, so and neither does these time lapses. But if I go over here, you'll hear just, there's a slight crackling of the candles that I've kept in there. So that's really nice to keep in there. And actually just now I've noticed that it's in stereo and I want to have it mono. So I've done Command 4 to open up this inspector, and now I can look, and normally it'll keep you on a video. I'm going to go to the audio section and I'll see it's in stereo. I'm going to put it to dual mono, and that'll keep it the same decibel for left and right channel. Over the last 10 years I filmed in the Amazon and so now if I put it in solo again, I might even add some more in there into the mix. If I do unsolo that. Over the last 10 years I filmed in the Amazon and the Himalayas, from the Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh. And let's look at our other files here. So that one I still only have one track, that's good. And this one, I'm going to get rid of the first track. And the same here with the scene from Hong Kong where they're destroying the Legislative Council building. And I'm just going to get rid of one channel. I hope to share here some of the tips. I can raise that a bit. And you know, as you can see, I'm okay with having these audio files run over each other. It's nice to have a lot of audio going together. Okay, now finally I've realized that, you know, I decided I want to have a bass track underneath here. I feel like it's a bit too light with just a guitar track. So I'm going to lay down a bass track now in Logic, which is what I use to record sound. Okay, so now I'm back in Final Cut. So I'll get my bass track and I'm going to do Control Option D just to keep it in the same color range, that I know that my blue is my music and my other effects are going to be in green because I want to keep the music all together. I'll line that up quickly with the other guitars, and then once again I'm going to fade it in. So now I'm basically mixing audio and actual music track in Final Cut. And I've added 3 key points here to match my key points, my keyframes here, just so that it follows the same range into the intro. And then as always, I will always do a long fade and a long transition on every track. And then I think that's starting to look pretty decent. All right, thanks a lot, y'all. Please give a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link's down below. And let me know if there's anything specific anybody wants to see. Cheers.